Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh to our lecturer Puan Usnawati binti Buhari. Today our group from Group 7 will presenting about the Road Pavement Condition Index PCI at Kampung Gemuruh, Terengganu. So before we start with our presenting, I would like to introduce myself and my fellow member. First, leader for this project is Muhammad Afiq bin Hamsan. He will lead all about that related for this project. Second, my name is Muhammad Hazif Fahmi bin Zainuddin. Third, Muhammad Shukri bin Jalal. And for the fourth member is Adi Irfan Akhiruddin bin Abu Bakar. And lastly, Muhammad Fahmi bin Cimuni. So we move to the first point is introduction. For the first point of introduction, I will explain about problem statement for this project. First, we identified that all distress that occur at this road. First, the common type of pavement distress include cracking, depression, pothole, lane drop-off, and patching distress. Typical cause of pavement deterioration include traffic load, environment or climate influence, drainage deficiencies, material quality problem, construction deficiencies, and external contributor such as utility cuts. So we need immediately rehabilitation because this is main road for local resident and alternative road for driver that come from exit highway to estate. For the second point, for the location for this project. First, our group selected 1 km of road in laluan Persekutuan 3, Kampung Gemuruh, Jalan Kota Baru, Kuala Terengganu, Terengganu. The inspect road located is near to the exit highway Pantai Timur that make this road busy with buses and car. For objective for this project to determine the road distress of any 1 km length of road in laluan Persekutuan 3, Kampung Gemuruh, Jalan Kota Baru, Terengganu, Terengganu. Second, to analyze the pavement condition index PCI at this road. Third, to suggest the correction or rehabilitation, maintenance or any method that is required to be done at the chosen road to improve the pavement condition index PCI value.
Hi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Afiq bin Hamsan and I'm going to explain about the literature review. Basic of Pavement Condition Index PCI. The PCI provides a numeric rating for condition of road segments within the road network, where 0 is the worst possible condition and 100 is the best. The PCI is a subjective method of evaluation based on inspection and observation. While the PCI is based on subjective observation, the index itself must be both objective and systematic to be of value. A PCI should be based on number 1, management road sections, 2, a road inventories, and 3, a classification and rating system for road defects. Next, there are 7 rates of PCI rating scale. As we can see, there were loss A to loss F, where 86 to 100 is loss A, 71 to 85 is loss B, and 56 to 70 is loss C, and so on. From the table also, it states the maintenance that should be done for each loss. Next is the limitation of PCI. Because it is subjective method, being too lenient may mean the important maintenance work is delayed. Being too strict may mean spending money on fixing a problem before it really need to be done. And number 2, it deals with surface conditions only. Surface conditions are symptoms of underlying problems and need to be properly diagnosed.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Shukri bin Jalal and I'll be presenting about methodology. In methodology, I will explain about the process of selection of road, classifying the road defects, and the procedure to calculate the PCI value. Firstly, for selection of road, as we know, this project was held during the COVID-19 pandemic. So, all of the procedure was done by using online platform, which are Google Maps and also Google Earth. We also have chosen laluan Persekutuan 3, Kampung Gemuruh, Jalan Kota Baru, Kuala Terengganu as our road to do the PCI. The reason we choose this road is because there are many types of distresses along 1 km of this road. For example, potholes, alligator cracking, depression, edge cracking, patching, and more. The picture of the starting point and end point of our road is also shown. And then, we also have plotted 11 points, and the distance between each point is 100 meter. So, that is mean we have divided our 1 km road into 10 sections and 100 meter for each section. The sections are as shown. And then, we move to the process of classifying the road defects. After the road have been divided into 10 sections, the process of classifying the road defects were conducted. The way is, each group member will do the identification of distress at 2 sections. The identification are based on the type of distress and also the severity of the distress. And then, the data will be recorded in the data sheet. And after compile, we have evaluated at which section or which point that we need to focus on when conducting the PCI test. Next, I will explain about the procedure to calculate the PCI. Firstly, we need to inspect the sample unit, determine the distress type and the severity level of the section which are low, medium or high. After we know the type and severity of distress, we can measure the density by using the formula. And then, we need to determine the deduct value for each distress type and severity level. Different types of distress will use different deduct value curves. The example of deduct value curve is as shown. Next, we need to sum up the deduct value. So, we will get the total deduct value. And then, we can know the value of corrected deduct value after we calculated the total deduct value. The way is, we need to use correction curve. The correction curve is as shown. And then, the PCI can be calculated by using PCI equal to 100 minus corrected deduct value. The level of service and the condition of road also can be known from the PCI value. We can refer the figure as shown to know the condition of the road and the level of service. And lastly, if the survey sample unit selected randomly, the PCI of the section can be determined by averaging the PCI of each sample units. So, that is all from me. Thank you.
For data analysis, we done our survey on Google Maps and we found several distress that need to be labeled and to be calculated. In point 1, we found depression and alligator cracking. In point 2, we found potholes. In point 3, we don't find any distress. And in point 4, we found joint reflection cracking. In point 5, we found edge cracking and alligator cracking. In point 6, we found longitudinal and transverse cracking. And in point 8, we found the same distress, which is longitudinal and transverse cracking. In point 9, we found patching and utility cut patching and lane shoulder drop off.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Muhammad Fahmi and now I will present about discussion on the result. So for raw data, capital N represent for total number of sample unit and for lowercase n represent for number of sample unit to be surveyed. So our capital N value is 10 and from the graph selection of the minimum number of sample unit, we will get the lowercase n value is 6. Next, we put the data in the formula which is I equal to uppercase n divided by lowercase n and we get the answer is 1.67 and choose 1 for interval. Hence, sample unit to be expected are 1 till 10. Now, for example, unit 1 calculation. From the distress survey, we have found 3 distress on the road. From the table, we can see 01 code is for alligator cracking and the distress is medium level. We have 2 alligator cracking distress. The area for first alligator cracking is 2 meter square and the second one is 3 meter square. So the total area is 5 meter square. Then we have to find the density using the static formula. 5 is total distress area for this distress and 600 is total of section.
Next, to get the deduct value, we have to refer to the graph distress density for alligator cracking, and we will get the answer is 20. Next, calculate the second type distress. From the code table, 06 is depression type of distress, and the quantity is only 1. The area is 2 meters square, and find the density using the formula, and the answer will be 0.33. And the next step is to get the deduct value by refer to the graph distress density for depression, and we will get the answer is 8. Now, we have to calculate maximum allowable number of deduct. From calculation before, highest deduct value is 20. Put the value in the stated formula, and the maximum allowable number of deduct will be 8.3. Arrange deduct value in descending order, which is 20 and 8, so the number of deduct value is 2. Since the maximum allowable number of deduct is 8.3, therefore only the first 8 and 0.3 of the both deduct value are selected, which is 20 and 8. Next, we have to calculate maximum corrected deduct value, CDV. From the calculation, number of deduct value greater than 2 is 2, so Q value equal to 2. Total deduct value is 20 plus 8 equal to 28. From corrected deduct value, CDV chart, we get CDV value is 20. By referring to the calculation, first row deduct value is 20 and 8, the total will be 28. Q is 2 and the CDV is 20. For next row calculation, deduct value is 20 and 2, the total will be 22. Q is 1 and the CDV is 14. So the maximum CDV value is 20. Next, we have to determine the pavement condition index, PCI. Using the stated formula, the PCI value is 80. So based on the rating for PCI value of 80, this section of pavement is in satisfactory condition, loss B. Next, by repeating the same step for other sample unit, we will get the PCI number for sample unit 2 is 52, sample unit 4 is 94, sample unit 5 is 86, sample unit 6 is 70, sample unit 8 is 92, sample unit 9 is 91. The other example unit that not calculated is because there are no distress in that section. That's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Arifan Nafidi bin Abu Bakar, and now I will explain about the discussion on the maintenance. There are only 4 types of distress that I will explain for this video. The first one is alligator cracking. The possible cause is based with a low modulus, and the treatment is rebuild or strengthen the foundation. Next, it is depression. The possible cause is subgrade settlement resulting from inadequate compaction during construction. The treatment is by removing the affected pavement, then digging out and replacing the area of poor subgrade. The third one is pothole. The possible cause is disintegration of the base due to the load, and the treatment is base reconstruction. The last one is patching. The cause is inadequate washing or tack coat before to the application of the top layers, and the treatment is upper layers should be milled, removed and relaid. Okay, next I will explain about the method on rehabilitation of road. The first one is alligator cracking. For small fatigue, we just remove the damaged pavement, then dig out and rebuild the region of poor subgrade. For large fatigue, cover the whole pavement surface with the road overlay. Next is depression. Less severe depression can be fixed by applying a thin surface patch or infrared patch. Next is pothole. Light pothole may usually be ignored, but deeper pothole in the pavement should be smoothed and overlaid. The last one is patching. Patching is a type of fixing in and of itself. Only a structural or non-structural overlay may be used to remove them from a pavement surface. Okay, lastly, I will explain about the conclusion. There are several distress that we found on the road pavement that we have chosen before. There are several factors that made this distress occur. The distress of the pavement of this road need to done a maintenance so that it can make sure the road users safety. The rehabilitation work on the road need to be done precise and consistently adequate with the condition of the road. That's all from me. Thank you.